So it is 2023 and you are ready to get serious about starting your personal brand or your personal business. You could also be like me. You've tried YouTube over and over, short form content, whether it was TikTok, Instagram, or you even want to get consistent with blog posting. Listen, I am here to talk to you about a very strong, important part of building a business and personal brand, and that is brand identity. If you haven't already, check out my previous video about mastering storytelling because that is also a very important part of building a personal brand. But today, again, I'm talking about a different topic. I have rebranded my business and personal brand many times. If you have been with me from the beginning of my podcast, from the beginning of my YouTube journey, you will know Tatiana has branded many times, and I have finally figured out why it was so hard with being consistent with my brand. We have been taught completely backwards. We focus on starting our brand, which is our logo and our colors and our website. And then we talk about our branding, which is marketing. How are we marketing our product, our service, or our personal brand? And then we focus on brand identity, which is our messaging and what I'm going to go over today. I am here to tell you that that is completely backwards. And what you need to focus on first is your brand identity. First, let's go over what a brand is. A brand is a name, a symbol, or a marker that distinguishes you or your product or your service from another or from competition. Point number one is personality and self-image. Why is this so important? Because who the heck are you? Who are you as a person is going to make a big difference. And when you are trying to figure out what your brand identity is, why are people coming to your page? Are you relatable? Are you funny? Are you pretty? Like, it's just, what is it about you that makes people want to come back to your page? I would also like you to ask yourself these questions. Am I confident? Am I funny? Am I adventurous? Do I like to travel? Do I like to try new things? Is faith a really big part of myself or my personal brand or my personal business? You have to ask yourself these detailed questions to really understand how your personality and your brand work together. My second point is relationships. This is where building community comes in. I don't care if it's the same 5 strangers, okay? Notice I said strangers. Don't worry about what your sister, your auntie, or your best friend and why they're commenting on your page. Of course, they're going to keep watching you because they're supporting you. I don't care if it's 5 strangers that are promoting your product, that are commenting on your YouTube videos, that are liking your blog posts. Figure out why they keep coming back to your page. Figure out what type of connection you can make with those 5 people before you get a large following, because then you'll be able to know, okay, well, if these 5 people like what I'm talking about, if they find me being consistent, if they share it with their friends and their family, then my following and my community will begin to grow. You also want to figure out what need you are meeting for your customers. That is really important. I know a lot of people are always talking about that, but it's really important. What need are you meeting for your customers? Again, it could just be you're just super relatable, but sometimes people just need to hear something. They get on YouTube and they're like, okay, I don't know why I'm on here, but I'm just going to watch a video. They click on your video and you're like, wow, I really needed to hear that. It could just simply be your messaging. I want you to ask yourself this question. How can I build a community based off what people need and what people are saying about my product, service, blog post, YouTube video, whatever it is? This next one is honestly one of my favorites, and that is language. Language and messaging is so important when it comes to your brand identity. We don't need long slogans. We don't need long bios. We don't need long introductions. People just want to get to the point. When you think of save money, live better, you think of Walmart. When you think of just do it, you think of Nike. My church slogan is pure gospel, pure faith, pure truth. You really want to make sure that your brand message is concise and persuasive. Say it with me. Concise and persuasive. We don't need the long introductions and any long bios or long slogans. People want to know, what am I getting into? For example, when I think of scaling my brand, I think of Earn on Demand. When I think of Grace and Peace, I think of Face Over Matter. Those are 2 big influencers that I like to watch. And I just know anytime I see those words, for some reason, their names pop up in my head. So what is it about you that when people see a phrase or when people see a slogan or even one word, they automatically think of you? Last but not least is core values. You need core values in life. Okay, so before we even talk about personal brands and business, you need core values in life. Why? These are the values and these are the things that are going to keep you on your toes in your business. So again, I speak about how many times I've rebranded, right? But one thing about me, and listen, I'm saying this, and if I'm wrong, comment below and tell me. But one thing about me is my core values have not changed. Okay, my faith is important to me. My life is important to me. My house is important to me. My business is important to me. Brand identity and photography and marketing has always been a really big part of me. But I just needed to figure out, okay, what is the big piece that I'm missing, right? So here's where the core values come in. You have to have core values to let your audience know no matter how many times I rebrand, these are the core things that I will not change in my business or in my personal brand. These core values will also help people understand what makes your business or your personal brand different from the next person. These are your goals, these are your ethics, and these are the things that you will absolutely not compromise on. Again, it doesn't matter how many changes you go through in life or how many changes your business may go through in life. People need to know, okay, she's not going to compromise on this just to get views, just to get numbers, just to work with this brand. Is her brand consistent across the board no matter how many different changes it goes through? This is where your core values really comes in. It's producing excellent content, and I mean quality excellent content, number one at the top of my list. If that's one of your core values, then no matter how long it takes you to create that form of content, whether it's a blog post, or short form content, or long form content, do not take that core value out of the equation when you are building your brand identity. When brands start reaching out to you, don't just say yes just because it's a great opportunity. If it's not something that doesn't align with your core values, it makes no sense. Like, if I don't drink and I don't smoke, but a cigarette company reaches out to me and wants to give me $2,000 to create a reel, oh my God, that's such a good deal. But I don't smoke, nor do I want to promote smoking. So why in the world will I accept that brand? You just have to make sure you have core values. Make sure you have core values. Also, this tells your audience that she's authentic and she is trustworthy. If you're changing too much, if you're too fickle, then you're not a trustworthy person and you're not a trustworthy brand. Also, really want to kind of a shameless plug on my faith-based personal brands right now. If you don't compromise in your faith in your daily life, why would you compromise it in your personal brand? Why? Why? And I'm not even going to go any further because I also did another video called There's No Such Thing as Too Much God. Make sure that you watch that video because I find the most people who compromise in their personal branding is people of faith because they want a brand deal so bad. They want people to connect with them so bad. And instead of coming off as relatable to who they're supposed to be speaking to and coming off as authentic and trustworthy and true to themselves, it's like, I know this ain't what you're supposed to be promoting. It makes me not want to follow you. It makes me not want to watch you because you say one thing, but you're doing another thing. And again, this is where your core values come in. You don't want to compromise just for the sake of views, just for the sake of deals. Starting with brand and branding instead of branding identity is where I've failed many, many, many times. Before you can focus on the visuals of your company, you want to be able to focus on the identity. Because, for example, if you hire a graphic designer to do your logo or your website or anything like that, how are they going to communicate your brand through your website or your logo if you have no idea what your brand identity is? It's almost like they're literally just going to be taking, okay, this is the type of business that I want. This is the name. These are the pictures that I took and create me a website, which again, the pictures may have very well captured your personality, but then you have to think about wording. Are you like what does your website even say? If you haven't established your brand identity first, then there's no reason you should be able to create anything visual wise because it's not going to represent who you are until you figure that out. This is why I just launched my website today. Because for the longest time, I was just like trying to figure out on the business side of things, what the heck does my brand represent? I was doing photography, but I was doing everything. I was doing headshots. I was doing babies. I was doing infants. I was doing family portraits. I was doing fashion. I was doing so many things. And I'm like, okay, how can I scale my business? What's my passion? And I figured out, okay, your passion is business and branding and brand identity and how people are showing up in their business and professional and learning how to enhance people's visual online presence through photography and brand messaging and all that good stuff. So then I said, okay, For the past 2 years, I've been focusing on and trying to perfect my craft. And now that that's there and I know exactly what avenue I'm going to, now it was time for me to create my website. I'm going to get my logo made and all those good things. It's just easier to be able to communicate with your graphic designer or your market strategist or whoever you are working with once you have your brand identity set into place. So don't forget, these are the 4 points. Number 1, who am I? Figuring out your personality and the self-image of your personal brand or business. Number 2, what are people saying about my business? Why are the same 5 people coming back to support my business or my brand? Number 3, is my messaging concise and persuasive? Number 4, what are my core values? I really hope that this video has helped you really streamline what you are launching this year in 2023. So many people want to start a YouTube channel. So many people want to get on TikTok and make videos, but nobody really has a clear direction of why they really want to get started. Most people's motivation is to make money and to go viral, which is cool. But at the end of the day, that is not going to keep you wanting to create content. After you got the high of going viral, after you got the high of even making some money or working with some brands, if you're not doing it because you love it, you're going to get tired of doing it. I appreciate you for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, share with me what you're doing in 2023. I want to hear all about it, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.